So the day has come. I always love to say that because it's like I feel like we have these discussions and we are like, okay, we're gonna talk about this and we get kind of into some of the nuances and I'm just excited that we're gonna be able to share and dig into some of our awesome opposing views and on this too, but also some, of course, lots of really good insights into where they merge and live really well. So for those of you that have no idea who Miss Sonia is, or maybe you've heard of her. Maybe you're like, oh, wait, I've seen her, but I don't really know her. You've been following her for years and you're her biggest fan. Just going to give a little bit of a background. So, Sonia Ochoa, she's been dancing for over 30 years. She's amazing. She's traveled extensively for her work as a dance teacher. She's a performer, and also she's a dance researcher, which is really interesting. And of course, a student, forever a student. So if you want to learn more about her after all of the discussion, I always put the links to everything, how you can get in touch with her, her favorite way, and all that media so you can follow her work and continue on. And Let's Talk Bellydance is a podcast about the hard things, like I like to say, what's behind the curtain that really, I think, gives us that confidence, that grit, and sometimes we just need to hear a different perspective because we're like, I don't know what to do, which is totally normal. So thank you for joining, Sonia.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. I'm happy to be here. And I think thanks to Sarah, she might have been the one that mentioned me. So
yes, and
shout
she's
out
on
to my girl, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Yes, that's how we connected. And I'd love to, as always, I kind of give the spiel about your background and all of that, right? But when we're talking about this topic, the push-flow paradox, can you first explain for people listening and that were curious, like, what is this about? What does this mean to you?
Well, basically, I just think of like obviously my personal experience and that I don't necessarily force things to happen. I try to stick with whatever feels natural for me, so that includes what makes me happy, what feels right instinctually, what will serve me as well as others.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a variety of things that can play into why I would do something or maybe why I shouldn't, or maybe it's not the right time, maybe not just yet. So I feel like a lot of us are in a big rush to, do things very quickly. There's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of trends we got to keep up with. And boy, am I really like far behind on all of that. But, eventually I just find my place in everything, and I'm not in a hurry to get there. And that's something I find myself saying a lot. I even mentioned that in another interview that I did last year. And yeah, it's just, for me, I feel like there's no rush. I really do like to take my time with things, and that's because I just know myself. It's like I know what my mind can handle, what my body can handle, and however long it takes to get something done or jump on board with something, that's my time, that's.
And has it always been like this for forever, before the dance floor, for everything, where you have the perspective of, if it kind of comes and flows into my life, then I'll keep riding that wave,
I have to say the majority of the time, yes, it's pretty much been that way. It's not that I don't take steps or take things into my hands to get something to happen or do something. But again, there has to be a lot of, or I should say, very little resistance. It has to feel very natural and not easy. I'm not looking for an easy way in or out of something. It's just, it's got to feel right for me personally. And, that's obviously very different for everybody. So you have to know yourself. You have to know why you're going to start or stop doing something and, you
Mm-hmm.
know, just sort of assess things a little bit and realize what's going to work for you, you know, because a lot of times I feel like when we step into something very quickly, we become very stressed, whether it's mentally or physically. You know, I've done things to my body because I was in a hurry and I've hurt myself physically. So, you know, there's just things like that that you need to consider. So, you know, obviously some things take a little more time to develop, to work on, and then realize them. So we're not always in a hurry to get things done. It's got to feel natural and flowing at the same time.
I see. I think one of the things is the hurry aspect that for me can mean so different, right? So like in my point of view, I'm like, yes, when things flow and they come into your life and it just seems like it's meant to be, like it all aligns. To me, those are like, yay, okay, this is easy. There's like,
Yeah.
no, not much energy expenditure except just doing the thing that you want
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Versus there are times where, for some other reasons, there does need to be like a very quick timeline, and it's like the nature of the beast, let's say. So certain things that are just like that. It's just, and you're like, okay, it's doable. It's gonna be fast, but it's doable, right?
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
quick. So,
Yeah.
in those moments, I feel like what hurried perhaps can really depend on the person too.
Yeah.
Like some people can
Yeah.
handle multitask like with their eyes closed. And some
Yeah.
people are like, I need one thing at a time. And both of them work. And I think there's a lot of research about either or, and they're always something else. And one is
Yeah.
good. And then the other next 10 years, it's the other one. But I think that concept of hurried maybe kind of brings me to the stress. Like you could be hurried and unstressed, and you could be
Right.
have a long time span in a project and be really stressed. Like you just
Yeah.
kind of, I think maybe I'm hearing like stress at the root of it. Am I right
Yeah.
or wrong?
Yeah, and that's just one thing. Sometimes it could be fear attached to it. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm guilty of that too, you know. Sometimes it's just a fear-based thing. It's like, I don't know, it's not going to work, or just a negative mindset, you know. So, and I'm not hard on myself about that either. I just let myself be with that, and I can talk myself through it and just realize what I'm actually doing to myself, like sabotaging something or just never even starting because I'm so scared. So, you know, yeah, I mean, it's such a broad spectrum of,
It
you
is.
know, people's dynamics, people's energy, you know, people's ways of doing things. Like, I know you're very different. you, you're a busy bee, you know, you get a lot of things done and you know exactly what you want and you get it done. So, I want to say that I know what I want, but sometimes it's like I don't really know until I'm there, kind of in it. Like it's hard to explain it, but um, I'm full of ideas, yet I'm not, you know, manifesting anything yet until there's almost like a sign or something. I don't know. I can't even put it into words. It's hard to say. But, you know, I don't know if you want to call it luck or circumstance or whatever, but, you know, there's just things like that that maybe we believe in, maybe we don't, you know, it's just aligning, you know, things are
Yeah.
aligning and
Signs of the universe, some people.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the things you just said, I hear it all the time, where there can be on this topic of push versus flow in particular, a lot of that mindset, right? We all have a lot of amazing colleagues, friends, family, etc. They are all very different. And when you start to think, oh, we're going to do this thing, or like, wouldn't it be great if we do this thing in the dance, or whatever it may be? And then you kind of see the different personalities. There's, let's say, on one end of the spectrum, analysis paralysis, the super extreme where not even gonna, like the negative self-talk even keeps the thing from being on the table in thought. And then you have you the opposite extreme, right? The person's like, okay, and then just does it, and it's like a hot mess.
Yeah.
Because there's just nothing. Or maybe they get really lucky, who knows? But you have such polar, and then of course, so much gray in between. Between kind of like that negative self-talk, and then almost like way too much confidence, maybe for it to really go as well as intended in the
Yeah.
thought, when the thought first came. So when you're kind of talking about the whole, the path and relaxing and taking your time, it could be, is this kind of like in your way, the decision making like deciding, I'm going to wait for a sign from the universe or something to happen to put me in maybe this path because I need something to help me make the decision? Or do you have like that decision, but you're like, when it happens, it'll happen? Just to get more context behind your view on this flow.
I would say more so than not, the final decision
The final.
arrives while I'm exploring in the process. I don't just come right off the bat with like, I'm doing this and that's what it's going to be, like I love when people do that, by the way. It's the impetus for something amazing, but for some of us, it's a little bit like, well, let me see, let me try. And if it vibes, if it works, if it flows, then I can commit more fully because then I have a better understanding of, is it right for me? So,
Yeah.
I mean, we can apply this to anything. So
Seriously.
I could go on forever. The list is long, but all the things that I've done in my life, some of them were just like, yeah, let's try this out. It sounds good, but I haven't really decided yet, about fully committing or, just being fully accepting and present and just like, yes, this is it. I can't always be that way. It depends on the situation. Obviously, there's so many factors. But
Yeah. What's priority
it's such a
versus.
broad spectrum. Like I said, it's just where to even begin. But yeah, I just, just like a few simple examples of like, being asked to be in a show or a dance company or something like that. And I'm being asked to commit full time, but I need to see first, like, am I going to work well with everyone within? Is it going to be fairly paid? Is it worth my time? Is it worth my energy? Is it worth what my body is giving? There's just so much that it's hard to say, yeah, I'm going to sign that 5-year contract. And
Yeah.
I can't. No, I just, because I don't know. So, I mean, that's a very specific case, but, say another example, like teaching online. Oh my gosh, like how many years was I receiving like, oh, do you teach online or via Skype, like a little further back in the days? And yeah, well, I'll look into that. And, I knew deep down that I had like a little bit of hesitation. Maybe it was fear-based. I don't know. Connecting with people that I don't know, that I'm not in front of. Like for me, this whole thing makes me shake. What we're doing right now, people listening to me speak, it's like, it just works my nerves. It's hard for me to connect with people in this way. But if you're sitting here in front of me, I feel that human connection, and it's so easy. And yeah, okay, let's do some private lessons or whatever. Sure. But yeah, you know, the whole teaching online, especially during the COVID period, it took me about a year to get on board with that. I had finished some classes that way because I had to. They already paid for them. We were doing, you know, in-person classes. So I was like, okay, let's just finish this up via Zoom. And, you know, that was just something that I didn't really like right away.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point I decided, okay, I've taken lots of classes for about a year from my favorite teachers, and I see how it works. So I've put myself in the student position,
Yeah,
but
the
I
shooters.
felt like, okay, I think I can do this. This may be something I can try out. And you know, it's very controlled. There's not like a subscription based thing. Like I know who's in my class. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's another part of me, the controlling part of me that needs to know, well, who's watching me and who's learning from me. And I feel this responsibility for, you know, well, just knowing who's there behind the other end, and, you know, who am I teaching? What do they, you know, want to know? Like just having more of that personal connection. So it's, you know, the way that I feel comfortable doing things, and I accept that. I'm okay with that, because people are always like, well, you need to build up your thing, and you know, you need to do like a subscription, and
The
then everybody
pressure.
could just jump in and out when they want. And I think that's wonderful. It's a great business model. You know, I love that, but I don't think I want to, at least not right now.
Yeah, and that's
At least
okay.
not for now.
Hmm. It's
Yeah.
very different online, like with this example. It's very different for sure.
Yeah.
It opens up some great opportunities to meet people across the world, but then, yeah, you don't
Yes.
have that physical
Yeah.
connection, which
Yeah.
is so different.
Yeah. I
Mm.
mean, I'm grateful for that though, because it's kept me doing what I love, which is, you know, part of what I love is teaching, and you know, it's kept me connected with people everywhere, and you know, I'm grateful that they trust me to just jump online with me and dance with me and study with me. So
Mhm.
it's you know, it's different for everybody though. I do appreciate that just people make things very readily available, and it's there at the click of a button, and there you
Yeah,
go,
totally.
you know. So
Literally.
it's more of
You
a
mentioned,
process with me.
no, yeah, no problem. I mean, you mentioned something about like the almost like the mental health aspect when it
Hmm.
comes to push flow paradox. Tell me a little bit of your experiences with maybe that aspect a little bit more, and times, maybe like your own story or experience where it's maybe there was like an issue. I know social media is a very hot topic all the time with this. What has been your experience with that?
Hmm. Well, I kind of jumped into some of those already, didn't I? um, well, you know, specifically speaking of dance
Mhm.
and where I want to go with that, you know, every stage has been so different, you know.
Mhm.
At the beginning, it was just like exploring and connecting with people and just having a good time. And the having a good time is still a very big part of it. I feel like, um, you know, I am very selective with who I want to work with. And, you know, sometimes there's just someone or something that, you know, I'm invited to be a part of, but I just feel like I'm not really connecting with that. So
Okay.
I have to decline. And, you know, whether it's working with a person specifically or just an event itself. So, you know, I know there's a lot of talk around that kind of stuff. And I have my own personal experiences about that. So, you know, it comes back to being very selective with, you know, who and where,
Mm-hmm.
why, and, you know, all the things. Like, I just feel, um, you know, I could do it all, if I wanted to, but do I really want to? No, I don't. You know, those questions are very quickly answered myself, you know, within myself. Like, I just don't need to think twice about that. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling in a different direction, maybe.
I feel like you have a very strong sense of self, right? Which makes these type of things much easier. But if
Yes,
you were to think of,
I
let's
do.
say,
Sometimes I don't.
well, yeah,
Sometimes
we're all
I'm
human,
like,
right? But I mean, if you were to think of like your 20-year-old self, let's say, right? It's like every year you learn more and more and you're discovering more about yourself and the people that you love, right? Um, if you're thinking of that version that wasn't maybe as experienced in making the decision of whether to allow the flow or, the push, what would you maybe, what comes to mind? Was there an experience or something that happened then? Or was there ever a time where you felt like there was pressure from online or social media, but maybe not in the teaching aspect, that just made you go in a dark place? you know?
um, I mean, not really, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I feel like every situation that I've put myself into, whether the outcome was positive or negative, like, I feel good about my choice and you know, which direction I took it in, you know, whether I kept riding that wave or jumped off, you know, like, I don't, you know, we often talk about like regretting things and, oh my gosh, I should have never done that. And I don't really feel that way, you know. Maybe sometimes I might say, like, well, maybe I could have handled that a little differently. But, you know, just allowing myself to be in exploratory mode, you know, just
Mm-hmm.
exploring things, meeting people, you know, it's part of it all. It's a part of the whole thing, you know, it's part of our human experience here. So I'm not going to deny myself that. But, you know, I definitely do stand firm in my, you know, who I am and what I want. Um, Sometimes I don't know what I want, though. I really don't. I just keep moving and I bump into it almost, you know, just,
Yeah.
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 Life has done that to me a lot, by the way. So,
I think for many of us, yeah.
yeah.
Are there, let's see, I mean, so it seems like it's been very much of a flow. Would you say the majority of the opportunities you got in your career, et cetera, has that been a lot of the flow, or were some of them like pushed onto you?
The flow.
Okay, wow, I'd love to
I can
hear.
almost say all the way. I mean, I don't know what you want to call it, you know, luck, destiny, the universe, whatever you want to call it. But um, I do know that because I understand who I am and what I love to do in my life and what kind of people I want to do it with, you know, those are the most important questions I will ever ask myself, because
Mm.
without the answers to those questions, it could get messy, right? So, you know, I feel like, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, just kind of most of the opportunities that have come your way have been the flow versus the push. And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, mainly flow. Like
Yeah. I
you've
mean,
been very lucky in that sense.
I don't know how to put it into words, honestly. I just, um, you know, there's been a lot of things that have crossed my path. And, um, you know, hey, you want to learn about Polynesian dances? And, you know, I'm actually looking for a few dancers to audition for my group. Do you want to, do you think you might want to try that out? That sounds interesting. Sure. Okay, let's
Mhm.
do that. So, it's just circumstances like that, that there's been so many. And it's not like I had that end goal, I never thought, well, I'm going to study dance because I really want to, be in this company, or I really want to travel the world, or I really want to be a star, or whatever. Yeah. I mean, all of those things were like the best surprises and blessings for me personally. Like there's just been so many things that have happened that I'm just like, wow, like how lucky was I? Wow. How, like I can't even stop saying that. It's like a continuous flow of things that enter my life for whatever reason that is. All I know is that this is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I love to do. And I enjoy this or that. And if something comes up, I'm in it, like I just try it out, and if it works, yeah, I mean, I ended up performing with this Polynesian dance company for a good, I want to say like 8 years,
Oh,
maybe.
wow.
Yeah, and
Long
that was
time.
right before the Bellydance Superstars kicked in, and then there was that, it was like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we have this idea and we're gonna take a bunch of dancers on the road and we're gonna, you know, it just like sounded great. So sure, let's give it a shot. But at some point it was like, I need you to commit 100% full time. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, well, I have a life here. I dance with many people, many groups, I got a lot of things going on. So how's this going to work out? Like that was a really big shift in my life. Like just
Yeah,
being on the road like all the time,
I can imagine.
because I was a full-time employee for that company. So I was, if I was not on tour, I was flying out somewhere to teach workshops. Like they booked me all
Solid.
year long. Yeah, so that was also a good, I always want to say a decade, but it's not quite. It's like about 8, 9 years.
Long time.
And so that's a good chunk of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And, once I made the decision to leave, then it went into a whole other direction of just being like the student. So I went backwards. I was like, the professional world-class touring belly dancer, and then I went back to being a student. It's
Mm-hmm.
so weird, but it was great. It was just great
Mm-hmm.
because I also opened up other doors. That's one thing I did very intentionally, very in a very focused way. I say that's one of the few circumstances in my life where it was like, I'm taking this by the reins and I'm going where I want to go,
Yeah,
like it was very
the
like that.
push was that
Yeah.
one to
Yeah,
make that.
that was the big push in my
Okay.
life. I've had a couple, but that was definitely one of them when it relates to, my dance life.
Mm. And a lot
Yeah.
of times, whether it's, I feel like there's a connotation of like the push means like it has to be something like bad happened to make the push, or like the push is like, I don't think all pushes are bad, just for any
No.
listener. I think there's a lot of good pushes. It's just dependent,
Oh
like you're saying, on the person, their tolerance, like
yeah.
what that goal is, what that priority, what that timeline of that project maybe, or that opportunity that comes up.
Yeah.
That can really
Yeah,
make or
coming
break
back
it.
to that, like
Mhm.
I said, I've hurt my body because I was literally physically pushing myself
To
to
the
the limit.
limit. Mm.
So, yeah, there was like a piece in the show, in the BDSS show, where we were gonna dance on point with
Ooh.
Sabah. So I went into like hardcore training. I was going to ballet classes very frequently, and I also was taking privates with this Russian teacher in LA, and I just ended up hurting my back. Like I overstretched a ligament in my low back, so I've been dealing with the pain for a long time, and that's something that's just like a constant little nagging reminder, like you gotta take care of your body, you gotta take care of your body.
That's so true.
Big one.
That's a big one. Yeah, I think that one, push or flow, you got one body, take care of it. It's the boss.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was being careful, and I guess I just went a little too far. So
overuse happens.
Yeah, that too. Although I was still quite young, so.
Hey, overuse is overuse.
But still, yeah,
right. Big time. Super big time. That's one that I'm going through right now, how to let rest on a rest day fully.
Very important.
Going through that journey in the human life.
Yeah, pacing yourself is a big one. Like just physically, that's, if you're a professional dancer, you gotta know that you gotta rest and recover, just let everything relax for a minute. And I know for some people it's hard because you're going, you're always busy doing things, and when I got that injury, I just, I was touring a lot still, so it was like, how do I balance this out,
How the heck do you heal in between working? That's a toughie.
I didn't. I guess I have scar tissue and little, things that just kind of nag me, and it's just that daily reminder of, take it easy, know your body well, and and do take measures to take care of it, to reinforce, to maintain, I'm in the middle of something like that right now with a training program that I'm in, and I'm learning so much about the body again. It's like, oh yeah, and it's just like lighting up the little light bulb, it's like, oh yeah, like a lot of realizations.
So important. Talking about, the push. That push was not a good push. Okay. But then on the other side, I'd love to give an example of a good push. So, like, in my personal journey, for example, my personal pushes have been, you're going to write a book. No idea how to write a book. Not even the faintest idea. Not even a clue. But I was like, I'm going to write a book. And this book is going to be by this time of year, before life or some surprise happens, because that's life. And I know how it is in my life. It's always something. So I was like, if I don't freaking push myself to write this flipping book, it's not going to happen. And sure enough, I think if I would have waited for like maybe a better time or right time, it was not going to happen at that point in life, because things sure just kept going like this in the trajectory over the next, I don't know, like decade almost. And that was a little bit more stressy of like mentally, it's more of a mental load where you're like, okay, I put this self goal and this self project timeline. There's no one else. The pressure was by myself. No one was like, go write something. It was in here. And I think a lot of us have our own mental pressures.
Yeah.
And again, it's no one would be let down but myself. But the pressure of that, the project of that, the timeline of that, knowing that life happens. And this was like the opportunity where like there was something in the head going, you should do this. You should do this. You should do this now. Like you should.
You know that is something you must do. Like, you must do it, and you know why you want to do it, and that's definitely a good time to push.
But it was odd. So I was like, I've never written. What the hell do I know about publishing a book? Like, especially I was 20 something. It's kind of like, but sometimes that happens to you, and it can be such a positive push to like, oh my gosh, okay, it was worth all this
Mm-hmm.
energy to, and this timeline and these things that are self-provoked in this example
Yeah.
to actually make it happen while other people are maybe partying and enjoying in their 20s. My ass was working late at night writing after work, and after gigging until it was done. And it surprisingly took less than I thought it would than thinking of the thing in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So there's ways to kind of, I think, push positively in that way,
Yeah.
where you go, I have this goal and it might seem crazy and I've never done it before and it is really scary and it's super unknown territory. But that's why maybe I should still do it because you
Yeah.
can really expedite the growth really fast
Yeah.
rather than I probably would have never written it or gotten to until much later in life. Who knows? And maybe someone else would have written the topic. I don't know. You just never know.
Yeah. Well, that's, related to like speaking of the stage after the company tour life,
Mhm.
then I was on my own. So I was like, okay, now what am I going to do with myself? Because
Right.
now I am still this dancer with all this experience and all this love and passion for what I do. How do I manage it all? I had a manager. I had someone dealing with all the scheduling and the business end of things. And
Okay.
I actually really, that's one of the things that I might have taken for granted at some point. Like I didn't realize what I had at that
Mhm.
time. You know, my manager, Miles Copeland, he was, him and his team were taking care of everything for us.
Nice.
So I got to be the artist that I wanted to be.
Mhm.
I got to just go and do the things that I was really enjoying. And I worked very hard and I was happy about it, you know. Um, so after that, it's like, okay, I'm here. I need to figure it out by myself now, you know.
Yeah.
And that was after like a big personal change in my life. And I was just feeling like all over the place and like I how to deal with so many things. I don't know what to do. Like, oh my God. Um, I did have some ideas of things that I wanted to do. Like I wanted to travel to India and
Okay.
I wanted to study Indian classical dance. I wanted to, learn more about that. I wanted to travel, just do a few things that I wasn't able to do on my own terms, before. So it really was all on me now. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
well, and I did just that. Like I set my intentions, my goals. I focused, and I said, okay, I'm going for 3 months, and I'm gonna study full time, and I'm gonna learn about this country, about this dance, about the people, like I'm gonna connect with people. And it was,
Immerse yourself.
what's that?
Immerse yourself like full on in that country. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And I did that every year for several years, actually. I was going back and forth to India for a little bit, different parts of India. I even was working in the middle of it because people would know that I was going to be out there. So they're like, oh, do you want to come to the South and teach some workshops down here?
Mhm.
So that kind of worked out to help support my new thing, which was, to travel and be a student.
Mhm.
And, I'm grateful to those people that helped support that too. It was coming all out of my own wallet. So I had to
Mhm.
make sure I had funds for all that too. And, just researching for myself. I wasn't writing a paper or a book or anything on it. It was just research for me as a dancer. you know, as
Gotcha.
it wasn't about putting it out there in the world in any way. At least at the time, I didn't have that idea. But, you know, eventually I did share like some introductory classes and lectures. Like recently I did one here at the college in Joshua Tree. So, you know, little things like that pop up and I'm prepared because I have that knowledge and that experience. So I'm happy to serve it in that way, you know. Um, you know, same goes for flamenco and spending so much time in Spain as well. And then most recently spending, you know, usually during the summer period in Egypt and, you know, refreshing my belly dance skills, connecting with Egyptian dancers, you know, just being at the source, learning about the food and the music, all those things. So I took all that into my own hands, and that's basically been the last uh, 15 years of my life. That's a long time. I didn't realize it was that long, but yeah, the last 15 years of my life has literally just been that, with
That
the
sounds
exception of
amazing.
COVID, of course. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it is amazing, and it's such a blessing, and I feel so like I'm just in awe about the whole thing. Like, how did that happen? How did that work? And how was I able to do that? And when I think about it, well, I, know who I am. I know what I love doing and who I want to do it with. I mean, it's just that, it's like some of the simplest questions, and if you have the answers and you're very clear on that, then everything else I feel can flow. Yeah, I mean, some of the opportunities literally just land there, or you kind of have to go after it a little bit, but it's support from family, from friends, fellow dancers. They're the ones who helped make it all happen. So.
Mm, love it. What about, has there ever been a time where, let's say, you mentioned like COVID, where you're like, oh my gosh, the stars are aligning. The trip is to Egypt, let's say. It's coming in the summer. Okay, everything's beautiful. Budget's great. The planning is planning. Woo! And then let's say you're there, and then something totally derails it off track. Like maybe there's a theft, maybe something back home happened really big, and it's kind of like, oh my gosh, now it's pushing me in this direction. Totally never thought it would. What do you, it kind of, has that happened to you in one of these trips for any reason? I'm just curious.
During those trips,
Hmm.
gosh, can I think of anything? Luckily, I guess I can say no.
Ah, okay,
I
easy
mean,
peasy.
my life has been eventful yet uneventful at the same time.
It's been
It's like,
smooth, it sounds like.
sorry?
It sounds like it's smoother than, the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, things have happened, but nothing like story worthy, It's like, it's just random small things.
Okay.
Like, oh, I was in India and I got so sick from, the food. Like,
Mm.
which, by the way, that happened every time I went to India.
Oh no.
So it was like, okay, I expect it, I go there and I expect that I'm going to get sick at least once. I know it. I just know that it's going to happen. And sure, that can derail a little bit, but a few days later, you get over it, you're fine, it's,
So nothing major. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
yes. I'm like my little protective bubble, thank you. Um, yeah, I mean, I do remember that my mother's husband had passed while I was away on a tour, and that was awful, and I was just about to finish up the tour, so she's like, don't. And I wasn't very close to him, but that's my mother's husband,
Yeah.
so it's like, I came home as soon as I could, and that was that, but nothing, nothing else that I can think of, honestly. I just feel like it has been smooth. Um, I mean, yeah, I expect life will serve up some surprises in the future, and I hope that life goes easy on me. So, I'm a very sensitive soul. I mean, my nervous system is very sensitive, so, I just, I do my best to handle any curveballs and, just try to avoid what I think is not working for me, what I think is not healthy for me, whether it's mental or physical. And that contributes to a nice, pleasant flow in my life. So.
I gotcha. No, I gotcha. Totally makes sense. I think sometimes like when the flow is so sounds so lovely, right? When the flow happens, yay, yay, yay. Energy can be, I think, conserved a little compared to like pushing for the things to happen for sure. And then I'm a big proponent of like make something happen, obviously, but I do think that there's guardrails. Like you have your guardrails of like those questions you ask yourself, that I think are amazing. Nice little like system in a way, like a little package of these questions. And in my brain, just because we're gonna have a whole bunch of different perspectives of the viewers that listen, but in my brain, I actually don't ask those questions at all. I'm just like, is this something I could prioritize? Like really quick, like, cause I have a million projects at one time. So it's like, is this the time to prioritize this? Like, is it humanly possible?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the only moment you have. There's no later for
Yeah.
that
I
project.
mean, just with little things, like I think about this summer. And oh my gosh, like I want to do so many things, and I'm so excited that I want to do this and I want to do that, but hold on, like I have to understand that I need to pace myself, and whatever it is that I'm going to choose to do, that I am going to fully commit to it.
Yeah.
So, I have this training thing. It's a methodology for like your body exercise kind of methodology called Elastica. And I'm in the middle of it. We just finished the segment on like all the theory,
Okay.
anatomy, physiology, the bones, the structure, everything. Like I'm in it right
Okay.
now. Like
This is
every
the
day,
fun.
my eyes are tired right now. I'm just like, I can't see anything. I'm reading a lot. I'm looking at a lot of things all day, every day, and I'm completely immersed and I'm committed. But yet I still want to take that intensive, that dance intensive. I'm like, don't do it. And I've already committed to a couple things that I'm like, should I have done that? But okay, fine. Just push through it a little bit, but don't overexert, because it's a lot. I know it's a lot for me.
Yeah.
I always tell people I am not a multitasker. Like I'm a one thing at a time kind of
I
gal. Like
sensed
I
it.
can
I
only
sensed
focus on one thing.
it.
I can't run a whole school and a company and a this and a that and the training and the, and then still be the dancer that I am, that I want to be. It's like, it's a lot for me and I can't handle too much. So
No worries.
yesterday, I'm taking a flamenco class with one of my favorite teachers online. And, with all intentions of getting through the hour and a half class, I quit about 20, 30 minutes in because my brain was just like not all there. I wasn't focused, and I didn't want to be rude and drop out and be like, oh no, like I'm quitting, I'm quitting. It's fine. Just do what you got to do and then watch the class later and commit later. But it's like, little things like little decisions like that will help me get through something and not stress myself out too much. So,
You know what I think would be kind of useful
mm,
is from both sides. When is like the time where you're like, oh, I need to jump ship? Like we all have those times where things are flowing, you need to jump ship, and you're like, oh, something else, pivot, or you're in it and you're hammering through it, like, holy cow, this needs to go a different way because of whatever reason. What would be some signs you feel in your experience of when like, ooh, I needed to stop the thing, change gears on the thing, blah, 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 blah.
yeah. I mean, just that, what I said actually, is
That's the
just,
one.
when your brain is not letting you, I mean, literally, I couldn't even like,
Just fog.
think. Like, I was like this, like, and I was trying to push through that, like, I can do this.
Mhm.
Okay, I tried, but it just didn't happen. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I gotta go. And I just signed off and that was that. So I mean, it's just that. Like if you see yourself not focusing, you could take a second and just sort of, take a deep breath and maybe try to take a few seconds to like ground and
Mhm.
try to, focus and push through that. But you just know when your body's like, nope, nope, no.
Had enough. Had enough.
Like everything is just no,
Hmm.
and it was a combination of a few things that I had going on yesterday evening, and I'm not going to go into that, but it was like just occupying every part of my brain that I couldn't. So,
Hmm.
there's moments like that where you just have to decide, okay, you know what, I'm not going to do this right now, if that's a possibility, and I can do it later. You know,
Gotcha.
I mean, if it's a thing of like right now, you have to do it, this is it, like, you know, I don't know, there's a show and you got to dance right now. I
Mhm.
mean, unless you got a broken leg or something, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, you just, that's a part of the job as a professional dancer. You have those expectations, you're being paid for that, and
Mhm.
you're not just going to walk away from that, like not that easy.
To entertain. I know.
I either have to break a bone or pass out or something for it to not happen, but otherwise I'm doing it, like
Yeah.
I'm committed and I'm doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether I'm in a good mood or not, I put on my persona and I remember why, who's here, who paid, who came to support this, this is where I'm at and I'm committed. So there is no jumping ship.
Yeah. Yeah. Those definitely those moments for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it. Actually, this is kind of that time where I would love to kind of maybe wrap it up and maybe leave some closing remarks. So when you think of this topic of the push versus the pull and everything we've talked about and so much more, because we only have a finite amount of time, because we could probably go on forever with different experiences. But what are some wishes you have for people listening to this, dancers listening to this, maybe struggling sometimes with like, "Ah, do I do this thing? Do I not? Like, when do I push myself? Should I just let it go? What would you say would be your best advice to kind of wrap it in a bow for this?
I mean, I could repeat the same thing. Just take a look at yourself
Mhm.
and decide, okay, what is it that I want to do here? I always feel like it's very important that you know that it's something that you're going to enjoy doing. Nobody is going to commit fully to something that they do not enjoy doing, whether it's helping people in whatever capacity. You know, you have to know that you enjoy doing that work. Otherwise, you're not going to do it wholeheartedly. You're not going to commit mind, body, soul, whatever. You have to know that. Yeah, and why you would do that. Like, is it for you, or is it for you and others? Is it, you know, what's your purpose? Like, you have to figure out, you know, you don't even have to know what the end goal is, because, you know, I kind of live my life like I don't really know what the end goal is going to be, really.
Interesting.
You know, I feel like as long as I stick on that path of like, you know, I really love learning, and I'm enjoying this topic very, very much. And I know that it could be very helpful for me, and I could really help a lot of other people along the way. So that's really important, is just those few things that I kept mentioning over and over. And then you have to be realistic with all the other things, how it fits into the big picture. You know, do I have the time? Do I have the energy? Like, how much can I actually commit and give to this? Because, you know, some people have full-time jobs and, you know, family and other projects and people, you know, like life is so full that if we just keep filling it up with more and more things, we spread ourselves way too thin sometimes.
Yeah, that's never good.
So, you know, I always think of like the pizza dough that my husband makes. It's like if it's too thin, you're just gonna get holes. It's gonna break. You know, and that's literally what happens. Like, it's just, you know, you have to know what you want to give and how much you can actually give. So, yeah, and also, I know people are like, well, I don't know what you mean by instincts, but like sometimes, like when you know, your
gut tells you.
Something tells you,
Yeah,
this could be good for you, you know, like try it and see. And if it doesn't work, then okay, you tried. But you know, that's a few things that I think are the most important things in the beginning. You know, don't worry about the end goal, really. It's beautiful things happen in a very surprising way, you know, like it's just, for me, it's always been that way, and I want to live by that every day. Like, I don't know what this day is going to give me, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to enjoy as much as I can. And if my body's telling me to just stand back, hold on, you know, chill out for a minute, then I will do that. And I listen to that now. It's very clear. Yeah. I think that comes with time, though. Sometimes, you know, when you're young, you think you're a superhero and you could just do it all. And that's great because, you know, you do have a lot more energy when you're younger. But, you know, I'm a little older now and a little wiser, and I've learned from certain things in my life that I've learned to apply those things.
all really good principles. Thank you so much for like summing it all.
Yeah.
All very applicable, I think, regardless which way you lean on the spectrum, right? For all of these. And so one of the things I like to always end with is if people want to continue to, again, follow Sonia, see what she's up to, maybe learn more about her, you can always find her on social media, Instagram, Sonia Dances, which we are on. Hello. She has Facebook, she has all the things. Sonia Ochoa. And then email. right? So you can,
Yeah,
there's
I
certain
mean, if there's a
opportunities to
specific
say,
inquiry.
yes, specific inquiries for sure. Not just like,
Yeah.
hi, I'm here, you
Yeah,
know?
because sometimes the messenger, like I might not always get it. I'm not,
Mm.
even though I am fairly active, but I might miss a message or something, and I don't want to rely on that. So if there is a very specific inquiry, especially business inquiries, um, it's not just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
But yeah, email is best, info@soniaochoa.com. And yeah, if people want like a little update on what I might be offering or just simply what's been going on lately in my life, I do share a little bit about that in my newsletters. So you
Oh,
can go
fab.
to my website and just subscribe to the newsletter there, soniaochoa.com. So yeah, um, it's fairly simple. So
Lots of ways to keep in touch.
yeah,
So don't be
you
shy
know where
on
to find me.
it. Well, I'm glad we could share a little bit about these interesting paradox, as we put it. And I'm excited to see what others think. By all, if you have any commentary, any questions, as always, I try to check all the things because this gets posted everywhere. In about a week or so, it'll be all over the talk. So yeah, just let me know. Make sure that Sonia can see it, or if I get something, I'll pass it along. And have a beautiful night, everyone, or afternoon or morning, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you so much, Sonia.
Thank you, Jennifer. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye, y'all.